Hi, and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Paul Lisnick, and we're coming to you from the Capitol in Springfield, Illinois, which gives us an opportunity to visit with the leadership here. So it's my pleasure to be talking with Tom Cross. He is the Illinois House Republican leader. Mr. Leader, good to see you as always.
Thanks for having me.
So there's a little pension thing going on around here, but I actually want to start because pensions, budgets, all related in many ways. Republicans are trying to get a balanced budget amendment passed. How likely is it?
Well, our friends on the other side of the aisle ought to seriously consider it. If you look at what's gone on in the state over the last 10 years with former Governor Blagojevich, our current governor, the Democrat leadership, we are sitting in a state that has $9 billion in unpaid bills. If you're a pharmacy, if you're a hospital, a doctor, you may sell vegetables to the prisons. We owe you money. School districts. We owe the University of Illinois $450 million.
Well, we had a 2% tax increase that was supposed to pay those bills.
So that was in 2011, highest tax increase in the history of the state. And the Democrats said, just do this because we're going to be able to pay down all our bills. Our bills have actually gone from $7 billion to $9 billion. We haven't seen a budget get balanced in a number of years. So what we've said is, look, we got to find something different. And at the end of the session, if the budget isn't balanced, let's give it over to the Auditor General. Let's take the politics out of it. Let the Auditor General determine whether or not it's balanced. If it's not, he calls us back into session, says you have to stay here till you get it balanced. And until that happens, you don't get paid members of the General Assembly.
What's the likelihood of that going through? I mean, is it more of just a political stance effort, or is it real?
Well, I think it needs to be real, and we believe it's real because clearly, we have a balanced budget amendment now. It isn't working, and all we have now is either the president of the Senate or the speaker says, oh, we got a balanced budget. When you have $9 billion in unpaid bills, clearly your budget is not balanced.
And some would say, well, if the 2% tax increase didn't go to pay the bills, which it was supposed to, that's what it was sold on, why can't there be action about that?
Action about what?
About the fact that the money didn't go where it was supposed to.
Well, because the problem is we have other pressures on our budget that are huge, pensions being one of them, Medicaid being another, and until we address those two, pass bills and implement some reforms, we will, in my opinion, have a very, very hard time getting out of the hole we're in.
I've talked to a lot of the Republicans and Democrats here. I've said, will the pension problem get resolved this term? And the answer I'm getting is there'll be some Band-Aids.
Band-Aids would be a mistake. We're going to spend $8.5 billion in the 2014 budget out of a $35 billion budget. It's 22 to 25% of our budget. 10 years ago, it was 7% of our budget. It's climbing. It's putting pressure on our budget, which means ultimately we're either going to spend all our money, a lot of our money on pensions, or be less money for education, less money for roads, more money for public safety, for human services. This thing is getting worse. And what I think people really need to, I believe, understand is that it can happen here, meaning it could run out of money. It's happened in Stockton, California. Look at the city of Detroit, Jefferson County, Alabama. So we have to be very cognizant of the fact that this thing is in such dire straits that if we don't do something, we're going to have real problems.
It seems that all the proposals seem to avoid putting the judges in, and that's part of this proposal too. Are they just afraid that judges have to deal with this because it's going to go to the courts and we'll leave them out?
I think people are trying to figure out how do we do something that really can withstand court scrutiny. There was a court case a couple years ago on another issue dealing with some salaries and benefits in health care, and the courts and the judges ruled against the General Assembly. So part of it is the politics, and part of it is prior history from the courts.
How hopeful are you, just a few seconds left, but in 2014, getting a change, seeing Republicans come into role?
People have got to look at the financial picture, and the Democrats are going to do a good job trying to not let us focus on the financial. It's a disaster. $9 billion in unpaid bill, highest unemployment rate in the Midwest, an awful business climate, the highest tax increase in the history of the state, all because of mismanagement and inability to protect hardworking Illinois taxpayers.
People have a duty to educate themselves. We'll see what they do. Mr. Leader, thank you.
Thank you.